Hey everyone, it's Ashley and today I am bringing you my December/Christmas book haul. I haven't done a book haul video in, I want to say 4 months, but it's possibly been 5 months. It's been a really long time nonetheless. And I'm actually really excited to bring you guys this book haul and to get back into booktubing. Most of the books in this video were Christmas gifts that were given to me by other people or that I bought with gift card money that I received for Christmas. So the first book in this video is also the only book that I bought myself this month, and I bought it before Christmas, and that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Okay, so I've been debating getting this book for so long, and I don't necessarily know why I decided to buy it at the beginning of December, especially since I have literally been in the biggest reading slump of my life in the past 4.5 months, but I decided now was the time to pick up this ginormous book. Like, yeah, and it worked. So I am currently almost done this book. I think I have 150 of these 600 and some odd pages left in this book, and I am devouring it. I love it. It is a story within a story. I don't really know how to explain it fully to you without ruining the plot, because I knew basically nothing about it other than it's a story within a story when I picked it up, and I am loving the fact that I didn't really know a lot about it. I can tell you that it has like some magical elements, that the characters are super well developed, and that it is probably one of the best fantasy books it is the best fantasy book I think I've ever read in my entire life. It follows a main character who is telling his story to someone in present day, but then the whole book is basically just the story that he's telling that person. So it's kind of a first-person narrative, but it's easier to explain by saying it's just a story within a story. It's really good. That was probably a really terrible description, but I'm loving it. It's so good. The next 5 books in this book haul were all books that I bought with gift cards that I received for Christmas from friends and family. Thank you, wonderful friends and family. So the first of those 5 books actually goes along with the last book, and that is The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm so close to being finished The Name of the Wind, and I'm so addicted to it, and I haven't finished a book in, I want to say almost 5 months. I haven't finished a book in 5 months. This is terrifying, but also true. So the fact that I'm so addicted to that book made me want to pick up the sequel immediately. This book is like 1,000 pages. Yeah, it's 1,000 pages. It will be the biggest book that I have ever read. Maybe that makes me sound silly because I know people read books bigger than this all the time. Almost all the Brandon Sanderson books are bigger than this. But it is giant. It is bigger than my face and like honestly like brick-sized. I'm very excited to get into it. I obviously haven't looked up what it's about because it would ruin the ending of the first book for me, but I do know that the title has a lot to do with stuff that happens in the first book, so I can kind of guess what this is about. But I'm very excited to get into it, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm glad to know that the second book does not like let down the reader. So I'm very excited. I will be diving into this right when I finish Name of the Wind. And the next book that I got this month / for Christmas is The Slow Regard of Silent Things. This is a novella in the Kingkiller Chronicles, which is The Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear. That series is the Kingkiller Chronicles. This is a novella about one of the side characters from the first and second book. I've heard that you can read this before the second book, but that it might spoil it, so I'm definitely going to wait until after I finish The Wise Man's Fear in order to read this, but it does look very good, and the character that it's about I quite like in the first book, so I'm excited for this. The next book that I got with gift cards from friends and family is Passenger by Alexander Bracken. Okay, so this book is not supposed to come out till Tuesday, and I was in the bookstore going book shopping the other day, and I saw one of them on the shelf. Just one, and I don't know whether it was an accident that it got put out or some like small miracle, but I grabbed it right away and I'm so excited I have it in my hands. I've been excited for this book for months and months and months. I don't know a lot about it. This is actually going to be a running theme. I really like to go into books knowing the bare necessities and then kind of just figuring everything else out. I find that a lot of times the synopsis in books spoils the book. Like, I cannot tell you how many times the synopsis of a book has spoiled something that doesn't happen until like 200 pages in, and I'm just like, but really? So I generally like to just know the bare necessities. So all I know about this book is that it is a YA fantasy that has time travel in it and ships. And honestly, that's all I need to know that I want to read it. I'm a huge fan of time travel books as long as they're done well. I've also heard nothing but good things about this from the booktubers and book bloggers that I follow that got arcs of this. Super jealous of you, by the way. But I've heard nothing but good things, so knowing that it's about time travel and that it's getting really good reviews is all I want to know and all I need to know in order to know that I really, really, really want to read this. The next book is Church of Marvels by Leslie Perry. This is another book that has an element that I absolutely love, and basically that's the only thing I need to know I want to read it, and that is multiple narrations. If you guys have been watching my channel or reading my blog or following me on Twitter or Instagram or literally anywhere, you know how big of a fan I am of dual narration and multiple narration when it is done well. It is my favorite kind of narration style. I love it a lot, and this one looks really, really good. I also have a friend, actually my former roommate, who read this and loved it, and ever since reading it has basically been demanding that I read it, so that is also kind of pushing me to want to read it. I know that it has something to do with a circus, obviously, but I don't know much else, but I'm definitely excited to dive into it. And the last book that I got with gift card money this Christmas was Animal Farm by George Orwell. This is this wonderful like hardcover cloth-bound edition. I have this same edition of 1984 by George Orwell. I haven't read 1984 or Animal Farm yet, but I really, really wanted my editions to match. I'm sure that a lot of you can resonate with that. Also, I've heard nothing but good things about Animal Farm, or 1984 for that matter. I know that Ariel loves Animal Farm, so maybe I will read this before 1984, but it was mainly just a buy because of the edition that it was and the fact that it matched my 1984 edition. And the last 3 books in my book haul were all given to me by my parents, 2 of which I got early before Christmas. They were Christmas presents, but my parents knew how much I wanted the books, so they actually bought them for me early and had them shipped to me because they're wonderful and I love them. So the first book that my parents got me for Christmas, but early, was Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. If you've read Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, you know that it's about a girl who writes fan fiction for a fake series that exists within the book Fangirl. Her fake fan fiction series is Carry On. Rainbow Rowell actually wrote that fake fan fiction book, but as a real book, and it's here in my hand. How cool is that? I just think that it's the coolest bookish thing ever. I can't wait to dive into this. I started it back when I first got it, but honestly I was just in the biggest reading slump and school was just so stressful and I never got around to finishing it, so I'm actually going to restart it in the new year, this year, it's now 2016, and finish it as soon as possible because I honestly cannot wait to read about Simon and Baz. The second book my parents got me was Winter by Marissa Meyer. Okay, so this is the book that I thought would bring me out of my reading slump. Turns out, I get about 200 pages in and my brain realizes, oh, this series is going to be over. You're going to read this book and everything's going to be done, and what if characters die, and what if things happen, and what if nothing happens the way you want, and are you prepared for that? And I basically had like a bookish breakdown and I put the book down and I just couldn't finish it because I just didn't want the series to be over. I'm over that now. I do want to finish this. It will be the first book that I pick up once I've finished The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, and I cannot wait to see what happens at the end of this amazing series. I have full faith that Marissa Meyer is not going to let me down. I just wanted to kind of be in this world for a tiny bit longer without it being over. And the last book that I got from my parents for Christmas this year I actually received with Winter from Marissa Meyer in the mail, and that is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Okay, again, I don't know a lot about this other than it is a contemporary YA that deals with LGBT issues. I also know from friends that they've told me that it reads like an Andrew Smith novel. If you know anything about me, you know that Winger is one of my favorite books of all time and that I absolutely adore Andrew Smith to the max. So if this is anything like an Andrew Smith novel, I know that it will not let me down. Also, I haven't read a really good YA contemporary in a very long time. Okay, so that is my Christmas/December book haul. If you have read or want to read any of these books, always comment down below and let me know. And also, if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments down below because I'm planning on doing a yay, I've been on BookTube for 2 years Q&A video. I've never done a Q&A video for you guys and I really, really want to do one. So if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments down below. And other than that, I will see you guys soon with another video. Happy reading. Bye!